So, I want to talk briefly about the journey to heal as far as how that looked for me. And one of the things that I think is really vital, and this is applicable to people who've experienced trauma in all areas of their life, that I think is crucial moving forward, is that in order to heal on any level, on anything that we've experienced in our life, we have to be able to accept that A, what has happened, and B, that we are ready to move forward by undoing all the things that have been done to us that somehow are deeply embedded within our psyche. Until we accept, anything that we do is only going to be surface level. And I know this to be true for myself, especially because when I left this organization 10 years ago, I thought that just walking out of that organization would be enough. I thought that as long as I wasn't affiliated with it anymore, it wasn't going to play a role in my life. And I couldn't have been further from the truth. What I recognize looking back now was that there were a lot of aspects of indoctrination that still found themselves playing out in my life, whether it was talking about things like creation versus evolution, whether it was looking at significant world events that were happening and trying to correlate it to something that was pointed out in the scriptures as the last days, and then trying to figure out how that was going to play out in Revelation, whether it was feeling like Armageddon could possibly come. All those things over the last 10 years were deeply embedded within my psyche. And I couldn't move forward into something new, even a new belief system, without letting go of all the things that I had currently believed before that, or prior believed before that. And that is really crucial. See, a lot of times the traumas that we experience actually end up becoming the glue that keeps the fragmented parts of us together. It's who we think we are. We become very self-identified with the lives that we've been living and the traumas that somehow play a vital role in who we are at this point in our lives. We might recognize, we might know that a lot of the things that we've experienced are hurting us from moving forward and living a healthy, more rounded out life. But if you become self-identified with the things that have happened to you, if you think that that is your identity and therefore you want to hold on to it because it's a scary prospect thinking that you don't know who you will become if you do, then it's very impossible to move forward in a way that is going to help you let go of all those things. I've seen it time and time again. People will show up, then they'll cancel, or they'll show up for one appointment and they'll never come back again. It's because you're starting to undo the web of deceit or the web of trauma that is deeply embedded within you. And it's scary because you don't recognize from the outside that the very thing that you want to be able to release and let go is the very thing that you think makes you you, and it doesn't. So whatever it is that you try to do moving forward is basically going to sit on the surface level. You may tell yourself you're okay. You may convince yourself that this is the new normal and that you're perfectly capable of moving forward in this life, embracing whatever it is that comes for you. But we are beings that are intended to have a system of belief that is firmly rooted in the experience of that belief. If you don't experience something that you believe to be true, and it's very, very difficult for you to actually convince others and most importantly yourself when something happens or comes along that shakes things up a little bit, and then suddenly all the things that we believed in come crumbling down. Because underneath that, we didn't bother taking the time to uproot the things that weren't true before we decided to plant something that could take growth within us. And so acceptance is key. I can't say this enough. You might know things about yourself. We all do. But there's a quote in the book Conversations with God from Neale Donald Walsch. And it says in there, tell the truth about yourself to yourself. And I can't begin to tell you how much that changed my life. Because until I recognized the truth within myself about what was really truly going on, about what was really wreaking havoc in my life and preventing me from moving forward and living my highest life, I could not move forward. I could convince myself I was. But until I accepted the truth, accepted that I needed to really undo that web of deceit that was buried deep inside me, and in this case, religious trauma, I was going nowhere. And if I was going somewhere, it would be for a very short time period until I completely had a relapse. And that happened multiple times within the last 10 years. It's hard work. There's no doubt. It's a journey. And part of that journey is to journey through the darkness, because we physically have to do it ourselves. Talking about these things is not enough. Experiencing them by undoing them through the experience is what we need to do. It's called the shadow. And in order to heal ourselves, in order to get to the light, because the light is within the darkness, we have to be able to enter that period of darkness, to see all the things that we never were, to get to the part of who we always have been. And that for most people is incredibly, incredibly scary. So first and foremost, acceptance is crucial and key. If you don't accept that this is something that you need to do in order to be a better and higher version of yourself, unfortunately, you're always going to end up relapsing and continuing the habits that you've created for yourself due to whatever it is that you have experienced in your life. Much love and light.